I like reading books. I've always enjoyed it. Since I was a child, I liked reading. In fact, I was at a boarding school, and I used to read books to the dormitory with a torch after the prefect and the master on duty had left, and we were supposed to be asleep. I would read Alistair MacLean thrillers, or Maclean, however he pronounced himself, thrillers, and I've always liked it, and to people who are ill, whatever, I'd sit by their bedside and read them stories, probably much against their will, but they were too ill to be able to say anything about it. No, I hope it was a pleasant thing to do. And I genuinely think that there is something atavistic about it, something that's primal in human beings that goes back to our earliest days, 50,000 years ago, when we first developed speech and we would sit round fires and tell each other stories, well before writing, which is only 5,000 years or so old. We told stories, and everything was done. Language was developed through hearing it and speaking it, and stories of our past and projections into our future were told around the hearth. And there is something just magical about it. And I think, I've done all my books. Every book I've written, I've done as an audiobook, and it's been an important part for me. And I know that there are plenty of, well, they won't call them readers, I suppose one would call them listeners, who only encounter my books through audio versions, and they would be furious if I didn't do that. So that's pleasing. And maybe you have a deeper, or not necessarily deeper, but a different kind of connection with people who listen to your voice. It'd be interesting. I don't suppose anybody has designed an experiment to get 100 people, 50 of whom listen and 50 of whom read, and then question them as to how much they've taken in of the book, because it would probably be very different. You could ask them to describe a scene. The 50 who'd listened to it might have a very different view of the scene to the 50 who'd read it.